Hey everybody, this is Kenny Cummins here of Chillin' with Kenny C right here on TMVCafe.com, bringing you entertainment to your ears. Busy show. And we're gonna kick things off with a singer-songwriter from Louisville, Kentucky. She got a record out. It's available on the streaming platforms. It's called The End Is Nigh. She is Kirsten Peckham. She's with me right now. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So we definitely gonna discuss this record,
Okay.
especially the name of the record. We'll definitely get into that. But
Uh-huh.
first things first, talk about how did you get started in music?
Oh, well, I started playing piano in like the second grade. I started taking piano lessons. And then in junior high and high school, I was in the orchestra. I played violin. Um, and then in college, I started playing in bands. And I had a friend at the time that taught me how to play banjo. So I picked up the banjo, and after college, I moved back to the Louisville area and started kind of like doing my own thing, doing like a solo project. And I picked up the tenor guitar and I tuned that like a banjo. So now I play and sing to a tenor guitar that's tuned like a banjo.
That's awesome. So I see your musical styles influenced by a variety of genres, which includes soul, jazz, rockabilly, folk, just to name a few. So
Hmm.
your music is kind of like a smoothie of sorts, kind of
That's
like
right.
bringing all these genres together. So talk about
Hmm.
what made you decide to combine these genres? What? How did she pull it off? That's what I'm asking.
Gosh, I mean, I don't know exactly how I pulled it off, but I just have such an eclectic taste in music, and that's what inspires me. That's what makes me want to write. And so, I'm interested in writing music that sounds like all different kinds of things. And I have the friends that worked with me on this album are also kind of the same way, like eclectic musicians. So yeah, we just kind of like came in and collaborated, and we were able to fuse all these different genres together, which is really cool.
Yeah, I've gotten a chance to listen to this record,
Hmm.
and I've always admired when somebody is able to combine all these genres and make it their own. And you know, I feel like too many times that you got people, listeners, they like to figure it out, like which what kind of genre is the certain artist, and
That's
it's
funny. I
like
have I have trouble figuring it out myself. So.
so I feel like it's okay to be intrigued by it, curious about it. But
Hmm.
hey, if you like the music, if you enjoy it, if it serenades your soul, then
Yep.
I think that's all. That's definitely the main thing that matters.
Hmm.
So that's just what it boils down. It's an instant connection. Um,
Hmm.
you hear a song here and there that's relatable. You might hear a melody. You might hear a hook. You hear anything that just makes you like, ooh, this song hits me right here. So
Uh-huh.
it's something to behold. That's what I'm saying. Uh, so we mentioned the genres that
Hmm.
you inspired or you've been inspired by. Now, as
Hmm.
far as artists or bands or groups, who are some of those individuals that have that has inspired you? to do music? Who are some of the artists? That's right.
Artists.
Yeah.
Well, is this interview going to last 2 hours? Because it would probably take me that long to list all of the artists that I
Yeah.
love. But in a nutshell, the first thing that I think of is Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. When I was growing up, that was absolutely my favorite album of all time. I think that's a big influence of mine. Also, like girl group music, like 60s, 50s, and 60s girl groups. Um, I mean, a lot of jazz artists. Nina Simone is a big influence. Phoebe Bridgers. Maybe that's where I get some of the kind of like melancholy, sad kind of influence from. Gosh, I mean, the list goes on and on. Michael Jackson. There are just so many that I could name. Steely Dan, randomly. Yeah.
So about Stevie. Now
Mhm.
that was one of the first albums that I heard at a very young age. My
Yeah.
dad, he plays all sorts of music in his office while he's working. At a
Okay.
young age, I've heard Motown. I've heard Elton John. I've heard Meatloaf. I've
Mhm.
heard Rolling Stones.
Uh
I
huh.
heard like Beast of Burden on repeat. But it was the Stevie Wonder that compelled a very young Kenny at the time. Like,
Yeah.
Dad, who is this guy? What planet did he came from? How does he sound this good?
Right.
He says, son, he's a once in a generation talent. The artists that you listen to
Absolutely.
now, they might have some talent, but they ain't Stevie. And the
I'm
man,
not Stevie Wonder.
I was like, and look, mind you, I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. So I was just,
Hmm.
we know how kids are. If you're a parent, you got an office, kids listen to the stuff that's in your room, and like,
Yeah.
it just takes you to that built place. Uh, so yeah, so Stevie
So we're
is
on the same page about Stevie Wonder.
yes, like the movement.
Hmm.
I mean, his performances just
Because he just
uh,
feels it. He feels it in his soul.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and
He's
it's so
just.
beautiful.
I mean, if only man, if only he could see the reaction of people, how they are impacted with his
Hmm.
music. Like all he could do is just play and just hear the crowd reaction, but see the smiles and the dancing and whatnot. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, Song of the Life. That's a classic album, and I still
Class.
listen to it. It's
Yeah.
so.
Me too.
Oh yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. Let's discuss this record you
Okay.
got here. The record is titled "The End Is Nigh."
Hmm.
Um, this record came out this past June, late June. It's available on all streaming platforms. So the title itself, "The End Is Nigh." There's a
Uh-huh.
meaning behind the title. What made you decide to name that record that?
Well, okay. So first of all, I'm really, really bad at naming things. I'm terrible. I'm terrible at coming up with titles. And so this album was unnamed for the longest time. And so my friends and I were just trying to go through, and how sometimes you can like grab a lyric from one of the songs that's maybe impactful, and you can use that for your album title. And we were just like kind of throwing different things in the air. And the first song on the album, it's basically about how all the trillionaires are going to fly off and live on Mars and leave us this crumbling Earth. And one of the lines in there is, the end is nigh. And so we chose that, uh, I think mostly because of just like the atmosphere of the world right now, and kind of like how I feel like, at least myself, I can't really speak for anybody else, but how I'm feeling and how I imagine a lot of other people are feeling right now, about like the state of the world. So maybe that's a little dark, but
Yeah,
it is what it is.
it's understandable considering
Hmm.
that we are all recovering from a once in a lifetime of a pandemic and
Yeah.
everything else that follows after that. And
Hmm.
while we've moved on from it per se, still dealing with some challenges here and there. Um, it's just a reminder like we got one chance at this thing called life. Don't take it for granted.
That's right.
Hopefully people use that time at home to be with their loved ones, to interact with their loved ones, whether it's in person, whether it's through phone or video, FaceTime, Zoom, etc.
Hmm.
It kind of made me use Zoom a lot more. So I live in Kentucky. Most of my family lives in Georgia. So,
Okay.
and like many other hardworking individuals, had to sit home, laid off, wondering if gonna get a job back or something.
Yeah. Or when
And
am I going to see my family
yeah,
again? Like,
so and of course that was a scary feeling. Um,
mhm.
and so I'm glad that we pushed through and everybody's okay. Um,
Gosh, yeah. And I'm thankful for technology, and that you were able to have Zoom calls with your family during that whole thing, and that people were still able to connect, even if it wasn't in person. I mean, could you imagine
yeah.
like going through this in the 1920s?
Oh, I don't even want to fathom that.
Let's
That's
not even think about it.
that's 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 disaster right there.
Right.
So all the technology heads that was building all these tools,
Hmm.
thank you, because
Thank you guys.
2020 was tough. But if it wasn't for you all, then yeah, it
Hmm.
it the mental health and everything would have been very devastating. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
so
Oh my
uh,
gosh, and another point, people being able to access therapy through
yeah,
a Zoom call,
ab-
Amazing.
absolutely. I feel like interviews like this is very therapeutic,
Mhm.
especially when you meet somebody for the first time and interact with people. Um,
Yeah,
so it feels good to have this chat with you. Feel like you're my
good.
therapist for the day, so or something.
Yeah. So how are you feeling? So-
I'm not okay, but I'm okay.
Oh,
Something like
okay.
that.
You wanna
So,
talk about it?
um,
You're like, "Not
well,
here."
yeah. Oh, it was quite a day at work. Let's just put it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
So this lead single you had, it came out on the 21st, which
Mhm.
was prior to the full length project. In All Your Dreams.
Uh-huh.
Talk about this song and the story, the meaning behind this song.
Okay. Well, I guess if somebody that is not me listens to this song, they probably picture it as like somebody that they love a whole lot, or maybe their partner or something. But I actually wrote it about my dog. So the whole premise is like, I come in and my dog's asleep, and I go and I like hold her hand, and then all of a sudden I'm like in her dreams with her, and we get to be kind of like in this dreamscape land together. And the whole thing is like, even though we spend all of our days together, I still want to be in your dreams because I love you that much. So I don't know. um, Yeah, it's about my dog.
Shout out to the dog lovers.
Yeah, yeah,
Animals do have feelings too. They just go about it a bit different.
yeah.
And unless you watch Dr. Doolittle, you're not going the Dr. Doolittle movies back in the day.
Uh-huh.
You ain't gonna know how the pet's feeling until you interact with them. Uh,
That's right.
so
And if we could go in and experience their dreams with them, we'd know so much more about them, right? I don't know.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure, sure. Um, so Miss Peckham here, go check out the album. Go check out The End Is Nigh. It's available on all streaming platforms. This is actually her second full-length project. So go check it out. And I see you got some numerous of shows coming up.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in let's see, actually your next show is this weekend at the
Yeah, this
Louisville.
Saturday.
So talk about the shows you got coming up.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this show that I have coming up on Saturday, I'm really excited about. It's at this new venue called The Last Refuge, and I've never been there before. It's a new thing. It looks like it is in an old church, and they call it like the High Church of Bourbon. And I've seen some pictures online, and it looks pretty. It looks pretty swanky inside, so that's pretty exciting. And I'm playing a 3 hour set out on the patio. I am going to be playing some original music, but a lot of covers too, because unfortunately, I don't have 3 hours worth of original material yet, at least with my solo stuff. So yeah, that's the first one that's coming up, and then August 16th, I'm playing with Maddie Fitz in Frankfurt at what is that place called? Locals Food Hub.
Yeah.
So that should be another fun one. And what else do I have? I don't know off the top of my head. What's after that? Let me see. Okay. And then after that, Mudfest in Litchfield, that's September 14th.
Mhm.
I'm going to be at Gravely Brewing on September 21st, and Enchanted Forest in New Albany on October 10th. And I'll be at Planet of the Tapes on November 13th. And that's what I've got scheduled so far for the rest of the year.
All right, so go check out the shows. You know, she's in Louisville, she's in Frankfurt, Litchfield, she's in Indiana. So she got y'all covered. And now,
That's right.
and now that this record is out, it'll definitely be a good time for people to go listen to the album, go listen to it, go learn the songs, because you know she's most likely going to perform these songs in person, and that you can learn word for word. You can sing along. Don't be shy.
If somebody learned my music and then came to my show and sang with me, I'd probably just keel over. That would be very cool. So
So there you go. She put her heart and soul into this. This is
that's
what
right.
she do. She put emphasis, a lot of emphasis,
Uh-huh.
on this record. So
All my little hearts in there.
yeah,
My little heart.
yeah, the heart, the emotions, just 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 wanted to express towards you, and hopefully that you can find it in your heart to marinate with that.
Mhm.
So
See if
yes,
it resonates.
resonates for sure. So check out Miss Kirsten Peckham, and go check out her music. She's awesome. She truly is awesome. So
Thank you.
uh so
You're awesome.
thank you so much. So I want to thank you for being on the show. Congrats on the record.
Thank
Congrats
you.
on everything else you have on the way. And
Mhm.
so I live in Lexington, about
Okay.
an hour and a half from Louisville. I do go to Frankfurt from time to time. So I'm gonna
Okay.
keep an eye on these dates, and I feel I feel like we got some mutual friends, at least
Oh
on the
yeah.
Louisville scene.
Okay.
Molly Midnight's Villains.
Oh hell
Uh,
yeah! I'm actually after I finish this, I'm gonna go see them down the street.
okay, well, I'm gonna be interviewing them in a few weeks, so you tell them
Perfect.
that some random guy named Kenny says hello, and
Okay, I
I
will.
look forward to interview them. So,
Okay,
thank you. You enjoy Molly's Midnight Villains, and
I will.
enjoy your weekend as well, and your remainder of the summer and fall. And you have a good night. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Kenny. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.